Welcome back, dear friends, to Taslima Maya Art. I'm Taz. It's wonderful to have you here. So today I'm going to be crafting some stunning earrings for you using JDiction epoxy resin, Gliteriffic glitter and Let's Resin UV resin. Don't forget, you can join me on Patreon for exclusive content or one-to-one support on your own creative journey. A massive thank you to all my subscribers, viewers and Patreon members. So while we wait, let's get into making some beautiful resin earrings. Remember, if you like any of the resin machines I use, you can get a 15% discount with Resiners.com using my code Taslima Maya Art, or use my referral link down below in the description box. So let's look at the supplies that you will need for this project. You will need some epoxy resin as well as some UV resin. I use both the Let's Resin and the JDiction brands. You'll also need an earring mold, I got mine from Amazon, some Gliteriffic glitter, stir sticks, mixing cups, mica pigments or resin dye, a respirator and gloves, a heat gun or isopropyl alcohol and a deburring tool. Please take all safety precautions when using resin of any kind. Make sure you have nitrile gloves, ventilation or an air purifier as well as a functional respirator. In this video I'll be using Resiners Purair air purifier, airless vacuum machine and the dual head mixer too. And because you can't hear me, I'm going to be putting on some voiceover over the top, and there'll be the Resiners filter machine going off as well, so I'm just going to turn that on, and that's going to make a bit of a noise with a fan. Here we go. So it's time to get your cups and start mixing your resin up. I'm currently using the JDiction brand, and this is a 1-to-1 part resin, so it's 1 part resin to 1 part hardener, and I'm mixing that up roughly about 5 ounces I think in this cup, because I've got a number of different projects on the go, and I'm going to mix that using my Resiners dual head mixer and then pop it into the vacuum machine afterwards to get rid of all the little bubbles that accumulate, and then I'll be able to use it. Here what you see is a device, it's called the dual head mixer from Resiners, and you can get a discount on the upgraded version of this with the silicone paddles. If you look in the description box below, use my code Taslima Maya Art. Now this is so useful, honestly, really saves your wrists and saves your time. I actually put it on for, I think it was 3 to 5 minutes for this particular resin, and I left the room and I came back. I took my respirator off in the other room. I'm just setting my timer there, and I came back and it was so easy really just to have it all mixed for you, and you can go at different speeds with this, as you can see. And my resin is pretty much mixed. I will scrape off the sides to make sure it's fully incorporated, and that's done. My resin is ready. Now if you're using epoxy resin or any kind of resin, please make sure you're using PPE. Now as you can see, I'm just placing my cup of mixed up resin with the tiny micro bubbles into my Resiners airless vacuum chamber there, and I leave it in there for about 7 to 9 minutes. And I will let all those bubbles come to the top and disperse, and wherever is left over I then simply spray with isopropyl alcohol, which gets rid of the surface bubbles if there are any left, of course. And look how clear it is, crystal clear. I'm super happy with that vacuum chamber, really nice. Just quick spray and the rest of the bubbles are gone on the surface. Just look at how crystal clear you can get your resin, and those surface bubbles pop instantly. I'm just going to separate some of my resin into little plastic cups, and I'm going to add some pigment to this. I only need a little bit of it, and I stir that up very quickly. This is Arteza's lavender, also a lovely colour. I have done a few projects with these too. I did a few bookmarks recently, so do check that video out. And for the other half of my resin I added a ColourArte pigment, and for the life of me I can't remember which one it was. I'll have to have a quick look and put it in the description box for you if you're interested. And I stirred that up, and I was actually this video is sped up. I was very slow stirring, but it does look fast here, sped up, doesn't it? So that was done, and I was ready to pour into my earring mold, and these earring molds are rather on the larger side. I'm personally into smaller earrings, daintier earrings, but some people do love these fashion earrings that are much bigger, and I thought I'd give it a go since I had this mould already. And this mould was actually from Amazon, if you were wondering. I'm pouring in my two colours and letting them mix in between, and I love how this looks already. Okay guys, let's have a look at these earrings. I think they're earrings or pendants. I suppose they could be either, and they're in this resin mould. Okay, it's a little bit messy, but I'm sure they're okay. Let's start demolding them. So it's been 24 hours since at least 24 hours since I popped these in here, and it was on a heat pad for about 2 hours. Oh, okay, so first of all, that bit isn't done at the top. I can see that. I didn't, because these little tiny areas are quite hard to get into. I should have probably tried a bit harder, but lesson learned. Okay, that's interesting. The top is missing, but I could probably fix that by putting it back in the mould and adding a bit more resin on the top. It's a shame, but look at it, it's actually quite pretty once I tidy it up with a deburring tool, which I have here. Okay, so I'm going to go around the edges and smooth it out and soften those sharp edges. But yeah, that's quite interesting. And you could add all sorts of things to this, like dried leaves, and then top coat it with some UV resin. So there's that one. Let's see if the other one did a bit better. I hope so. So again, let's try and push that middle bit in. Oh, okay. Oh, okay, so that one worked a bit better, a lot better. I mean, look at that. I think what we've got here is one that actually did work, whereas this one, the top part was missing. I should have got a little toothpick and push that resin in a bit better, and I think I might do that next time. I quite like those, they're quite pretty. Look at those. And then let's get the next one out. Okay, again a little bit chipped at the top. I think you have to be super careful, don't you, of whether it's actually gone into that mold, or whether there's any bubbles trapped there, and it can be quite tricky when there's tiny little parts of the mold that you need to fill the resin into. So again, there's this one, there's a little hole here as well, but I love the pattern. I love how the purple and the pink look together. It's super pretty on the other side as well. And let's get the last one in. I have a feeling this one worked fine. It's just having to be a bit more careful. Yep, this one is fine. Look at that, worked perfectly, and it's super pretty. I like that. Look at that, lovely. Very pretty, aren't they? So those are the kind of earring sets that I've got done. You can see it a bit better, and I will probably try to fix some of those by doing a little bit more resin to bring it back into the mold. Okay, ladies and gents, it's time for part 2. I'm going to try and embellish some of these earrings. So I'm going to use this beautiful Gliteriffic glitter, which is really shiny, super sparkly, and it's thickened up a little bit in my pot. So I'm using a cocktail stick or a skewer really to apply that to the edges of one of my earrings, and you can see how thick it is, so I really have to tap that down and get it flattened out, and I'm going to get it to slowly crawl up towards the top. Here it is. It looks really fabulous. I really like it. I know it's a little bit glitzy, but I really love the glitter effect on this. I'm going to put it all along the edges of all the earrings, and then add maybe a little bit more fancier glitter to the second pair. So once I pop that down on it, you'll see me then add the UV resin on top to seal it on, so it never comes off, and add some sparkle to it as well, some shine to that sparkle. I also apply a little bit of ColourArte's Shadow Moon pigment on top of this glitter, which I later seal with the UV resin. Now for the second set of earrings, I decided to use some random glitter. I have got lots of other options, as you can see, pixie beads and all sorts of things and stones, but I choose the glitter simply to match this first pair of stunning earrings I've got here. They're not yet sealed with UV resin though, so I'm going to start on the second batch. I'm adding a little bit of UV resin into my silicone cup, and I'm going to add the glitter this way. So this is a second way of applying some beautiful embellishment onto the earrings, and I'm just going to pour on my glitter into the UV resin and then give it a stir, and then apply it that way onto the earring. And you can get glitter in all sorts of shapes and sizes, and it's lovely. I've got some little glitter hearts in here, hollow hearts, and lots of other different types of glitter in here mixed up together. And I'm going to just use my silicone stick here, mixing stick, to just pick it up and place it where I want it on my earring, as you can see. And again, along the bottom edge is where I've chosen to put it, but you could put yours anywhere you want. So if you do give something like this a go after watching this video and being inspired by it, please do give me a shout out or let me know. I'd love to see what you create and watch your video too. Obviously I'll be using a UV light to actually activate the resin to make sure it cures, and it's pretty quick, a couple of minutes and it's cured. And I'll be doing that on both because I'll be applying some UV resin on the first set of earrings that I did, just to kind of seal it in. And here I'm doing this, as you can see, simply liberally applying the UV resin on top. And this is the Let's Resin UV resin. There we go, and that will seal all of that Gliteriffic glitter in and give it that gorgeous shine that I want. Now, as you noticed, the mould was a matte mould. It wasn't a mould that creates shiny objects, unfortunately, so applying UV resin to it afterwards gives it that shiny effect that you really want. And I'm using my silicone stick there just to make sure that resin goes right to the edge. And here's my UV lamp. I'm just popping that on for a couple of minutes and that will cure it right up. And you can see the finished products here. What do you think? They're really pretty. I think I might do this on a smaller scale next time. These earrings are quite stunning. I guess jewellery is personal taste, so let me know what you think. Do you like them? Do you prefer large earrings or small earrings? Would you wear these? Would they go with the outfit? What do you think? I quite like them, so I might give them as a gift to somebody I know who likes large earrings though, so that's the plan. But they are beautiful. I mean, they really shine in the sunlight. You can see it captures that beautiful Gliteriffic glitter. And on the second set there's little hearts. So I should really zoom in. I didn't think about zooming in at this point, but there's some blue glitter hearts in the second pair of earrings. So that's it from me this week. I really hope you enjoyed this little resin journey I'm going on. I'm going to be doing lots of little projects like this and maybe some larger, deeper pours as well eventually. But I'm enjoying this. It's really, really fun. So let me know what you think in the comment box below. And thank you for watching again this week. On the Creative Art Collective this week we have the usual lineup. We have Patty from Let's Pour with Patty up after me, and after her will be the wonderful Sheldon from Sheldon Briscoe of Shell Rock Art. Hope to see you in a live chat, or we can catch the replays. Bye for now.